Hello, everybody. Welcome to Making History, the Second World War. It's been a long time, but it's 2020. Time is meaningless, and what else are we going to spend our days with? So I thought I'd go back to an old favorite. And hopefully a more viewer-friendly format. I hope to try and keep these closer to like 15 minutes or so. But right now this is turn one right here. I'm playing as the United States, like always. And there's going to be a lot of housekeeping things to have to take care of, but we'll we'll do those things gradually. I should have implemented a turn timer, but oh, oops. Let's get the research set. Wisest thing to do, always max your education funding. Greatly improves your research speed. And some of the other things that we are going to want to do is that we want to begin producing research facilities everywhere we can. And where we can't, we should probably be trying to produce either med centers or our strategic resources, such as steel, fuel, arms. In the future, that will be nuclear weapons or food. Because we want to keep those as high as possible, because Lord knows there are going to be times where you're hurting for them. Hospitals are also good investments. I believe they improve research, but they also improve population growth, and, well, the more pops you have, the more people you'll have to grow your food, and, well, you don't want to have a labor shortage, to say the least. That would be very unpleasant. But right now, I'm just going to set all of these universities to, well, another thing as well is upgrading your military facilities as well. But in my opinion, trying to go down the tech tree as fast as possible is well worth the effort, because if you can get so far ahead of everyone else in terms of technology, you're going to be squared away. As you'll be producing the more advanced units sooner, and you won't have to pay as much to upgrade them. Speaking of which, before we end our first turn here, yep, we're going to upgrade all of the military units we can for 240 gold, and I'm going to move to general mobilization. It may provoke some people, but that's neither here nor there. Standard thing is I want to check in. Yep, Republican Spain, gotta love the Republicans. Despite, various relations, I guess we shall call it, to the Soviets. I think they would have probably have been better off under that regime than the nationalist government that resulted from their civil war. But that's a little too political, don't you think, or don't you think? Because I don't know about you, but I think. God, I have such awful humor. But I'll call that a segue to the first turn. And one of the other things I intend to do is begin producing more military personnel, as that also helps with yep. British didn't like us moving to general mobilization. One war weariness. Huh. But we're at peace. Whatever. That looks like that's going up, so it's fine. Don't worry about it. I'm going to let my colonies trade on the free market because, you know what, I don't want to have to micromanage this over here. Because that's probably going to be a pain in the ass. But let's see. So, two short-term goals that I think I want to implement are, well, I have a lot more than two short-term goals, I should say. I have a lot of short-term goals. Language is hard. I have a lot of short-term goals, but let's see what we can't implement. I'm going to need to start producing more rail capacity, which is probably something I can do in the production menu here. Yep, we'll take a steel plant, switch over to rail capacity. Alright, still plenty of... Alright. Those two tricks. So I should be getting more train cars in the future, and when we have enough of those, the plan is that I want to get rails in all of the Philippines here. I want to get trains going in basically from here all the way through to here in Alaska. I want to get trains going in Hawaii and here in American Samoa and in Puerto Rico on the east coast over here. Ta-da. And Virgin Islands is a nice stretch goal as far as their infrastructure is concerned. The reason for that is that you cannot do a lot of heavy trade with your colonies if they don't have trains. Because I want to ship them steel for an infrastructure project. Too bad. They need trains, and you can ship them the trains themselves. It's just they're the capital of the territory needs to have a valid trade path, and in order for that to happen, I'm going to keep saying this, they need to have trains. And let's see, over here, trade maps, nope, not trade, supply, I think, yes, transportation subtab. I also intend to create high-density train networks from along Maine, all along the east coast here to the tip of Florida, across here through the Midwest, and I want to have a central route, a northern route, and a southern route of high density trains. And that is because I anticipate having to move large numbers of troops across the continent, and I need to do that as quickly as possible. Problem is that I have very limited rail capacity here, which is why I've sent those two steel factories to work on that instead. But this is very much an introductory episode, and my biggest concerns for this session are going to be I am going to be concerned about the Japanese here in the Far East. There's Japan. I should go back to the political map mode. I like the political map mode the best. The game defaults to geography, and I mean, it's very pretty. The game developers have done an astonishing job here, but I prefer political map mode to play on as my default menu. But my biggest things of concern here are Japan and the Republic of China, because that's going to be a scripted event, I believe, that they're going to go to war with each other. And if I ally with the Republic of China, I want to claim Formosa as a colony. And Spain here is going to break apart. And I've played this scenario a few times so far, and it's been a crapshoot whether or not the Spanish Republic, when the nationalists break off, whether they stay the Spanish Republic or Soviet Iberia. If Soviet Iberia turns up, I'm just going to let them do their own thing. But if it stays the Spanish Republic, I want to get Spain's African colonies. They could be very useful, and will also give us a good staging ground for when this unfortunate regime becomes a problem later. Because that's also a lot of scripted events. But hey, the game's young. We're only on turn 2 out of, 700. So things may change. Maybe I decide that the Soviets are a bigger problem. I don't exactly know if I want to conquer the world. I don't anticipate that I do, but I think it would be a quite fun gander through an alternative history. But only time shall tell, and we shall wait and see. Anyways, I'm going to call that a nice introduction and a nice episode 1. And hopefully there will be more in the future, but who knows. Anyways, that's all for today, and I'll see you next time.